On your smartphone, TaylorvilleDailyNews.com.
Craig's Realtors continues to be the market leader in 2022 with more properties sold than anyone else. Owner Steve Craig's here, and we'd love to go to work for you. Find out how by clicking on our icon at TaylorvilleDailyNews.com.
Find out about all the products and services offered by Dan Rizzo, your American Family Insurance agent in Taylorville, by clicking their icon at TaylorvilleDailyNews.com.
The WTIM Swap Shop program is being moved to an online platform starting January 9th. Starting that day, you can click on the Swap Shop link on TaylorvilleDailyNews.com. Register, then list any and all items you have to buy, sell, trade, and give away free of charge. Items posted will be screened by station personnel before they go live on the new WTIM Swap Shop webpage. It's quick, easy, and a great way to get rid of your stuff absolutely free. Buy, sell, trade, or give away online by clicking the Swap Shop icon at TaylorvilleDailyNews.com starting January 9th.
Your information station, WTIM.
Welcome to the WTIM Morning Show. I'm Avery Cooper. Your stream brought to you by Landmark of Taylorville, where you always do better with Landmark, and people's bank and trust. They put people first. You'll find the streams on the TaylorvilleDailyNews.com Facebook or on YouTube at WTIM TV. I have the Christian County Sheriff's Office in studio right now. That includes Sheriff Kettlecamp. Welcome back here, Bruce. I appreciate you being here.
Thank you, Avery. It's great to be here.
Also, a special guest Sheriff Kettlecamp brought with them, Investigator Amy Cole. Thank you for being here, Amy.
Thanks for inviting me. Thank you.
All right. So, Sheriff, I understand you kind of wanted to kick it off here a little bit. So I'll hand the floor off to you.
I think maybe the people might be getting a little bit tired of hearing me speak everything. So I thought it would be good for the citizens to realize all the different things that the Sheriff's Office does here in Christian County. And, I'm so lucky to have great employees, and I have some fantastic employees, and I don't think the citizens realize how much our employees do. And I think one of the, that's why I wanted to bring Investigator Cole in, because she wears a lot of different hats for the Sheriff's Office, and she does a fantastic job. She is assigned part-time to our the Central Illinois Enforcement Group, which is a unit that's comprised of, I think it's 9 different agencies that works in 7 different counties here in Central Illinois. And it's a great organization. It's supervised through the Illinois State Police. They have jurisdiction throughout the 7 counties that they work. And they're actually, assigned with they have credentials from the state police as inspectors. So I'm kind of partial to that group because I worked with that group when I was in the Illinois State Police, and they do a lot of great things. So I'd like to talk a little bit about that, or she can explain a little bit about her role there. But also, she does a fantastic job with our social media. She's in charge of that, and she helps me get some of the press releases out that we do. And she also is the DARE officer for Christian County and goes to several schools, so she can talk a little bit about that. So, but anyhow, she does a lot for, she's just not an investigator or a deputy. We're very, very fortunate to have her. And then, maybe we can just, Amy can explain how she got started in law enforcement. Yeah. And
I understand you've been here for 4 years, Amy. Tell me a little bit more about your background.
So I actually started out as a 911 dispatcher down in the Effingham area. And the officers down there are who really got me into wanting to be a police officer. So I started as a police officer over for the Tuscola Police Department. And I was a police officer over there for a few years before I transferred here. The reason I came to this area was because my husband, Jason Cole, he is a police officer down in Pana. So that's really what brought me to this area.
How does being a dispatcher before becoming a cop help you in your career as an investigator?
As a dispatcher, they are amazing. I don't think people realize truly what dispatchers deal with and go through. So we're very fortunate to have the dispatchers that we do in our area. As a dispatcher, you know what the officers need, and you know how to talk to people in difficult situations. And I think having that background has helped make me who I am today as a police officer.
When it comes to Central Illinois Enforcement Group, give me a little bit of the rundown of what you do with that agency.
So I'm just there if they need me. I help out a lot with the investigations that we do here in Christian County. And then if they have things outside of our county, they'll just request that I come and help out.
I see. So you are typically here in Christian County,
Right.
but you are able to work outside the county
Mhm.
when requested, if and when
Exactly.
requested.
Yes.
Okay.
Just so you know, we also have another officer, Sergeant Rexroad. He's assigned to the Central Illinois Enforcement Group full time. So he's works with them full time, and then Amy, whenever they need some more help in Christian County or anywhere in the other counties, she'll go and assist them on surveillance and doing drug buys and doing search
I was going
warrants
to
and all
ask,
that.
Central Illinois
Yeah.
Enforcement Groups focuses on.
Well, they focus on anything from a small drug dealer, but I think a majority of their cases are bigger cases. They just finished up a case that was a great case that this gentleman from Christian County was supplying a large, many people here in Christian County.
Sorry to interrupt here, just to remind people, this is the one where he was traveling to St. Louis, right?
Yes.
And coming back.
Correct.
And, okay,
Correct.
just to jog people's
Yes,
memory.
and
Continue.
and they did a several month investigation into that. Was watching him, and with the assistance of the Taylorville Canine and one of our deputies, that made the stop, and they came on to, I think it was close to a pound of methamphetamines. But he had been dealing a lot in our area, and they took it had some past convictions, so we took it. Did a federal prosecution on it, because that federally they have to spend, once they're sentenced, they have to spend 85% of the time for their sentence, where in state court they only have to spend 50%, and then they get a lot. So this gentleman was sentenced to 20 years for distributing drugs in Christian County, and he's going to be he'll have to spend at least, I think it's 17 years of that in prison. So for 17 years, he's not going to be back out and dealing drugs here in Christian County. So again, that's what the drug enforcement does. But Amy, she, like I said, she is our full-time investigator in Christian County. So she handles a lot of the scam cases. She works closely with the FBI. She also handles some child abuse cases, sex cases. So she stays very, very busy.
That's my next kind of focus, is the scams. What, as an investigator for scams, what have you been seeing in the area lately?
So lately there is a lot of calls being made to like elderly folks, asking for money to be sent to these people in return for even more money to be sent back to that person. I will say, if somebody's calling, requesting money from you, please do not send them money. Please check in with your loved ones. Make sure that they know not to send money by mail or like wire transfers, anything like that. If somebody's calling, requesting to be paid just to pay you in return, it is a scam. Please do not do that.
Gift cards? You're hearing any gift cards?
Gift cards are popular. The wire transfers seem to be popular. And then here, my last fraud case was checks being sent in the mail. So
that's an interesting one.
Mm-hmm.
When scammers call elderly people, what are the kind of things that the scammers are telling these victims?
Usually it's about like winning the lottery or winning a big sum of money, and they're requesting to be paid a little bit before they send all that money back.
But we also have seen grandparents fraud too, where they, their grandson or something, they say, is arrested and they need money for an attorney or something like that. We've had several of those that's come into
that. Is true.
Pardon me, Sheriff. I laugh a little bit because you said that, and then immediately I thought to my own grandmother back home, and she had a call that they arrested my brother, right, and he needed bail money,
right.
Well, then anyway, and if I may share a tip, the thing that she did was she said, "What is your Aunt Amanda's last name? What is your aunt's last name?" And then they just hung up, and that was it.
Right.
And so that's kind of
well, unfortunately, a lot of Unfortunately, there are some elderly people who don't think that fast as your grandmother did,
Right.
and they do get scammed,
Right, of course.
A lot of these scammers, they ask you to go to Walmart or somewhere and get the green dot cards or something like that.
Gift
So,
cards or
yeah.
wire transfers
Yeah.
through the machines there too.
And-
So if you suspect a scam at home, what do you recommend you do?
Honestly, I would just like for people just to call the sheriff's office and just talk to me about it, because I can look up those phone numbers. I work very closely with an FBI agent from the Springfield area who can track down different phone numbers and people and addresses in different states for me. So we have that really good relationship going on, and we can probably do a little bit more work looking into things like that for people.
In that moment when you get that call, though, what should you do? When you are on the phone actively, what advice would you give to someone who is receiving a call?
Do not ever give out any of your personal information, your bank account information, anything like that. Just write down the phone number that they're calling from and just hang up the phone, honestly.
Hang up.
Yeah.
That's the bottom line there. Anything else that you'd like to say about some of the things that you've seen in Christian County as an investigator before we move on and talk about the DARE program?
I don't think so. I will say that I also handle like the sex offender registries, and I do a lot of work with our evidence as well. So like the sheriff said, I am usually always busy during the day, but it's a fun job for me. And I know it's something that I'm really good at and I have a lot of passion for. So I'm very thankful to be here with the sheriff's office and to be in this position.
An investigator with many hats.
Again, I can't say enough about the great employees that we have in the Christian County Sheriff's Office, from the investigators to the road deputy to the correctional officers and dispatchers. We have excellent employees. We're very lucky.
That's Christian County Sheriff Bruce Kettlecamp along with investigator Amy Cole here on the WTIM Morning Show. More from her after this short timeout, and Sheriff Kettlecamp here on WTIM, your information station.
WTIM.
Providing banking solutions that fit your business needs is at the core of what we do. Hi, this is Greg Curl from People's Bank and Trust. We understand the complexity that many SBA, USDA, FSA, and other loan options can present, but more importantly, we can help you navigate those decisions to secure the best loan choice for your business. Call 888-PBT-1954 or visit bankpbt.com today and let us put your business first. People's Bank and Trust, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
If you're looking for a local, full or part-time job in Central Illinois, there's an easy place to go to find current job openings. It's IllinoisJobPost.com. That's IllinoisJobPost.com. You'll find jobs available near you. And the best part is that it's free for candidates to access 24/7. If you want a local job when you don't have to spend a lot of money on gas to get to, then you want access to IllinoisJobPost.com to check out current local job openings. That web address again is IllinoisJobPost.com. Another service from your friends at the Miller Media Group.
Hi, this is Jared White, host of Central Illinois Outdoors, inviting you to find us on the internet. We are up and running at centralillinoisoutdoors.com. You can jump on there to find our Catch of the Week segment. Also, our archive shows. After they air on the weekend, you can find them every Monday at centralillinoisoutdoors.com. So listen when you can. You can also find us on Facebook. Just search Central Illinois Outdoors. Central Illinois Outdoors on Facebook or at centralillinoisoutdoors.com. We'll see you there.
I'm Brandon Bible, your local country financial representative at 1305 West Dresser in Taylorville. Stay tuned at the end of every Tornado Sports broadcast on WTIM's many platforms when the WTIM announcers select the WTIM Brandon Bible Country Financial Tornado Player of the Game from that particular game. The player will be spotlighted for their great play in the game and also be given a certificate honoring their accomplishment. My wife Sam and I are proud to be the exclusive sponsor of the WTIM Tornado Player of the Game this school year.
Let's swing open the farm gate together every day on News Talk WTIM. I'm Stu Ellis, your host of the long-running agriculture feature called The Farm Gate. I bring the latest news and information on where agriculture is and where it's going to WTIM Ag listeners every weekday morning. From tariffs to treaties, from the Board of Trade to the running board of your truck, I cover Central Illinois agriculture every weekday on the Farm Gate. Hear it on all of News Talk WTIM's many platforms, on air or online. Join me, Stu Ellis, for the Farm Gate.
Scott Primer here from Locust Grove Church near Assumption. We're spreading the good news of Christ in person and online. Come join our family or watch our video sermon podcast by clicking our icon at TaylorvilleDailyNews.com.
I'm Brett with Central Cremation Center, and we serve all of Central Illinois. We offer the most affordable and convenient arrangements in the area with plans starting at just $795. Many of our plans are available by clicking our icon at TaylorvilleDailyNews.com.
Your information station, WTIM.
It's the WTIM Morning Show. I'm your host, Avery Cooper. Your stream brought to you by Landmark of Taylorville, where you always do better with Landmark and People's Bank and Trust, where they put people first. I have the Christian County Sheriff's Office in studio right now, and that includes Sheriff Bruce Kettlecamp and Investigator Amy Cole. And you may or may not know that Amy is very involved with the DARE program. That's it means an acronym, doesn't it, Sheriff?
Yes, it does.
Here, how about this, Amy? Tell me a little bit about what DARE is and some of the schools that you visit.
Sure. So DARE stands for Drug Abuse Resistance Education. And I think we can all remember when we went through DARE. I don't know if you did, but I did in 6th grade. And back then, DARE was all about just saying no to drugs.
Yep, I remember that.
Was all that it was. And the curriculum has kind of changed now. So it focuses mainly on teaching the students how to go about the thought process of making good decisions in their life and being responsible.
And so I guess when you kind of distinguish it a little bit there, I'd like to dive in more. I suppose, instead of saying no to drugs, I guess what are some of the things that they'll learn? You kind of said it in layman's terms, but digging a little bit deeper.
Sure.
What are some of the things that they'll learn when they go through the DARE program?
So DARE is a 10-week program, and I go in and I teach one lesson every week. And the lessons include like managing stress, ways to deal with bullying, discussing who we can go to when we need assistance or when we need help, being responsible, and things like peer pressure.
I'm kind of just searching here. When I went through DARE, they didn't really tell us about what drugs really were, like what drugs were available, or that kind of stuff. They just said, don't do it. I mean, is there more education on what's out there today in this curriculum, or of course age appropriate, but
right. So
I'm kind of just wondering.
So I teach mainly 5th graders, and we do have specific lessons that focuses on like the health effects of alcohol and tobacco products. So we do talk a lot about that. And I will also bring up different stuff that we handle and deal with at the sheriff's office too on different calls, just so they know more about other things that are out there.
Right. And do you feel or I guess, how do you feel this different approach aids, or I guess on the other flip of the coin, doesn't aid this program? It very well does aid, but.
So I think the way that they have the curriculum now, I think it's very beneficial to help the students understand that in our lives, we might not make good choices. And that's completely fine. We're all humans. We can all sit here and say that we've said bad things. We've made mistakes in our lives. And this program can really teach them that we can either make good choices or bad choices. And they have to think about the consequences of those choices now. And if they do make a bad decision in their life at some point, we also discuss ways that we can turn it around in the future to make it into something positive and something good in case they're ever in that situation again.
Let's just go back to, say, I don't know, 2006, where everyone just said, don't you say no to drugs. I guess on the other flip of the coin, what was the negative of that? If there was one, I suppose.
I don't think there was necessarily a negative thing about just saying no to drugs. I think they just expanded the program now so that it does still include resistance strategies, how to say no when you're put into situations that do involve drugs, but they really made it a lot broader to fit the different lifestyles of people.
Well, and if I may add, it feels like it's a lot more about education than, for a lack of a better term, intimidation.
Right. Yeah.
Would you agree with that?
I do agree with that. And my approach when I teach is that I am a normal human being. under the uniform, behind the badge. They see my goofy side. I share personal stories from my life. And I think the kids feel comfortable if they ever need to come to a police station or the sheriff's office to come and talk to me if they need help.
Anything else you'd like to add about the DARE program?
I just want to say that I think it's awesome that the schools still have the DARE program available and that the sheriff's office does it, because not a lot of police offices do that.
Could you tell them what schools you go to?
Sure.
Quickly
Yeah.
here.
So in the fall, I teach at Morrisonville Elementary, Edinburgh Elementary, and then Pana Sacred Heart School. And then here in the spring, I teach at South Fork Elementary in Kincaid and Lincoln Elementary down in Pana. So every year I teach about 200 fifth graders.
That's Christian County investigator Amy Gold. She's talking about the DARE program along with Sheriff Bruce Kettlecamp. Thank you both so much.
Thank you.
WTIM.
With SRN News.